Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another podcast of Jerry What the What? Dymond podcast number 62. Watch out, Blaze After Dark. I'm gunning for your record. You're still on vacation for your podcast, but my podcast is still kicking ass. Anyway, tonight my podcast, we're here at Lark Tavern. Is a very funny, very sexual, funny man here. He loves talking about sex all the time with men and women. The very funny Dakota McKee. Thank you for coming on my podcast.
Thank you, Jerry.
Tell everybody a little bit about yourself in podcast land.
Well, I was once like all of you, young, unsexualized, but I've since come into some wisdom via the internet or my own experiences, and now it's the opportunity for sex. It's become so easy that I've decided to monetize and share some of my secrets, or it's really, the secrets of men and women. And my program is called the Sexualization Method. It's about $1,000 an hour.
Oh, wow.
If people want to become,
$1,000 an hour.
Better, yes, at picking up men or women at the bars. But at these comedy shows, I've been giving people a free preview because I'm confident that just giving them that taste is gonna have them. They're gonna run to me.
Are you aware of the internet now? There's internet dating services out there where they can get dates on the websites now. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, but if
or you're the professor of love, or you just go out, you have your own website there for a date. So let's talk to Dakota McKee.
Well,
He's the man.
What men and women really like is the challenge to be both the hunter and the hunted. If you're just paying for a dating service or paying for just straight up sex, that's very mechanical, Jerry.
This is 2018. Anything can go.
Yeah. Well, what I'm hoping, what I can give people with the sexualization method is the passion and excitement. Of sexualization.
Well, you do that very well. I've seen it here many times here at Lark Tavern. Now you lived in Alexandria, Virginia.
I did in the past, yeah.
Okay. Now you live here in Albany now.
Yes.
When did you move to Albany?
Well, I actually grew up in Bethlehem.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
So you've been here basically all your life then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I grew up on the mean streets of Delmar.
I've been in Delmar. They're pretty mean when they want to be. How long have you been doing stand-up?
Let's see. How long have I been doing stand-up? For about... So I was doing stand-up in the past, but I had a really difficult time sort of coming up with... I always felt like I was funny and I had good jokes, but
now when you say the past, how long ago was the?
I don't know, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay, all right.
I didn't know.
I just seen you a few months ago. I was the first time I met you, and like, wow, this guy's very interesting. And that's gotta get on my podcast because I've heard your stuff, and you get better and better. Like the first time I was scared of you. The first time I heard you perform, I was really scared of you. I didn't know how to take you. I said, is this guy gonna be all right, or what? Should I be worried, or should I be nervous? But the more I seen you and I see you perform, and you've gotten a lot better. You do it really well, and I'm very happy that that's why you're my podcast, and we get you out there more, so you can go play like the funny bones and the comedy works. And
my method definitely can make, especially you're not an elderly gentleman, but I'm
old enough.
A middle-aged gentleman as such as yourself. I'm sure you've got your own sexual routine, so it can certainly be frightening if someone tells you.
As of last Monday, yes, I do. Wait to hear this sexual story tonight. I'm going to perform on stage tonight.
Oh my God.
Oh, Is
this because
make your ears bleed?
Is it something you've learned from the sexualization?
Yes, I learned something out of this. I didn't want to learn out of this, but you'll hear about it tonight on stage.
Oh, okay.
It was not something that I wanted to experience, but I ended up experiencing it anyway.
Yeah, before I was giving people sexual advice, I had all kinds of ideas about things that I was going to try to do, and I always had a really difficult time figuring out a framework. Sometimes I didn't really know what I wanted to do, whether it was just telling like corny jokes or something in a succession,
right?
Or doing sort of the way people do, where it's like, last week I had this crazy experience kind of thing.
Right.
And sometimes I wanted to do like meta comedy, which in the sense like I wanted to sort of joke about stand-up comedy, where which didn't always work, or people didn't always get it. So anyway, I really had a hard time sticking to material. So even if something was good,
Right.
I would just throw it out. So finally, I found.
You found your niche. You really found your niche. You got everybody inspired to that. Who inspired you to do comedy?
So people I really like.
Anybody in your family? Was someone in your
my
family?
father is pretty funny.
Oh, is he? So he kind of inspired you to do comedy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But I'm trying to think. Like when I was younger, I don't know. I grew up in a Jewish household, and
Okay.
the
Hey,
greatest.
you do comedy. You ever heard Don Rickles? He was very Jewish. There you go.
The greatest thing a Jew can aspire to in the year 2018 is to become a stand-up comic.
Absolutely. There's a lot of Jews that do comedy.
Yeah.
You know.
You'd be surprised, even people. I mean, Sacha Baron Cohen, the guy who did the Ali G show, he's Jewish.
Yep.
Obviously, Mel Brooks.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In the olden days.
Well, Mel Brooks is more of an actor. He does more acting than he does anything. He's what made jokes fun at. He was more of an actor than he was a comedian. Oh, I'm thinking Mel Gibson. Mel Brooks. I'm sorry, wrong Mel.
Mel Gibson's not Jewish.
No, he thinks he was Jewish for some reason. I don't know what he think he was Jewish for, but yeah, Mel Brooks. He's old style comic, and I loved his stuff. He was really, oh my God, him, Don Rickles, the very both funniest Jewish guys I ever met. You know, they're very funny and
Larry David.
Larry David, yes. But Don Rickles, he's one of my inspirational comedians who just passed away last year at the age of 90. He's the kind of comic that I like to be. You know, he's out there, he goes out there, he attacks people, you know, because people do get on my nerves, and I just like, you know, they like as a comic, like, okay, I gotta do it this way, you know. But he inspired me, but also George Burns did. You ever heard of George Burns?
Yeah.
George Burns did be 100 years old, Bob Hope, Milton Berle, Mr. Television. These guys all inspired. Jonathan Winters, they all inspired me to do comedy. Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams, he also inspired me to do comedy. So there's a lot of comedians that I talked about, but no one ever heard of them.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you ever heard George Carlin?
Yes, George Carlin. I knew George Carlin as a child. I was a big fan of George Carlin because he was Mr. Conductor in the Thomas the Tank Engine show,
yes, he was.
Shining Time Station, and so when I grew up, I was really surprised to find out that he was a raunchy,
yes, he was,
loud, vulgar,
and everybody every comic I've talked to from the 518 area comedians, they tell me that George Carlin was their most inspirational comic.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So was he your most inspirational, or was it somebody else?
He was my most inspirational Magic Train Conductor. I suppose. In terms of my most inspirational comic, like I think. Like that's tough, like because I don't want to say any comic like individually inspired me. Like I want to be this guy, but in terms of, I guess that's not. Well, the people I identified with the most maybe is. Have you ever seen the show Flight of the Conchords?
Yes.
It's such an enjoyable show, and they talk a little bit about sort of sexual adventures and whatever.
Yes, they do.
A little bit.
Yep.
And I really liked the way I always did music. I did musical theater in hhigh school.
Oh, did you really?
A little bit of college, yeah.
Oh, I did not know that.
So, yeah. Well,
wow.
Surprise.
Hey, this is with the podcast to get you out there.
It's actually really good to break out into song while you're having sex. That's something maybe I.
Yeah, that's something I want to do. Musical comedy, and I want to do Broadway plays at the same time. That's my most inspirational I think I ever want to do in my life.
That's next level sexualization. It's like everyone sort of does their own moaning or sound effects during sex.
I just cry. I do a lot of crying.
You just cry? I mean, you can. That's
at my age. I do anything to do with sexual. I do a lot of crying at my age. When I was younger, I was a stallion back in the day. Today, forget about it. I'm due for retirement.
So, like, I wonder if you can impregnate someone with your tears, like. No.
They all run the other way.
They run the other way. Okay.
I say, Derry, you should be crying. Look what you did to me.
Jerry, you're gonna have to put condoms on your eyes.
I don't know about that. Now, you talk a lot about
free too.
You talk about the sexuality on your bit there. Where do you get that? Is that from your personal experience, or is that something that you heard people told you about?
Oh yeah, like I said, my average, I probably have sex, about 20 times a day. I'm like
with or without porn?
I'm like the what's his name? Was it Wilt Chamberlain? Who is it who bragged he had like
Yep. Yeah, you did.
You know, I'm like the Wilt Chamberlain of Del Mar, New York. I'm getting a blowjob right now, Jerry. You can't see it. Don't look. But
I don't want to look.
You know,
my eyes are going better already as it is.
I'm keeping all the emotion on the inside. It feels great, but like I don't want to disrupt the podcast. I can multitask.
Anything in this podcast goes. This whole thing. No matter anything. People playing pool, having sex, drinking beer, raising hell. This is a live podcast.
I would say, I guess, if you want an alternative answer. So if you go on the internet, you'll find a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not even just the internet. So I find both men and women have all kinds of, sometimes sexual, not for me obviously, but for other people, sexuality can be an uncomfortable or awkward experience.
Right.
And there's all sorts of material out there to try to tell people, especially aimed at young people, to be like, this is what you need to do. These are and what I find is a lot of the material is aimed exclusively at one gender. Like if you know what, do you know what a pickup artist is?
Yes.
Yeah. So like pickup artist material, there actually is something called the girlfriend experience.
Okay.
No, it's something else. The girlfriend experience is a movie.
Oh, all right.
There's something similar. The girlfriend activation system is the name of one of these things, and you know there's videos. They're basically these packages, but they're very expensive.
Right.
But not as good as my program, where they will tell exclusive. So what my program does anyway, those programs are almost exclusively for men, and they're addressed as if women not only won't listen but don't know it exists.
Right.
And to be fair, like there is the opposite, usually not online, but like, you know, Cosmo magazine or whatever.
Right.
It's the same thing, but it's
JCPenney catalog.
Okay, sure. It's aimed exclusively at girls or young women, and it's like this as if so what my program does that no sexual program has dared yet to do is I combine the two and I give men exclusive advice and women exclusive advice, but I make sure that neither gender is privy to each other's sexual secrets, because, you know, in keeping with, you know, the genre of this kind of pickup artistry. So anyway, yeah, and I would say that too. Some of the some of the advice that I give is based on some of the material that I have watched some of these videos. I should say, so people, because when I was younger, like, you know, early 20s, mid 20s, you know, people would always be like, you know, Dakota, you've got to watch these videos.
Right.
Like, you know, this is how I got my girlfriend.
Right.
That kind of thing. And so I watched some hour-long.
That's how I got arrested.
Yeah, well.
This is how I got spray maced.
They didn't include that part. Well, actually, as a friend, as one friend told me after the first time I had sex, they were like, you know, all these men like to brag about all the sex they're having, but like they'll never tell you how good the sex was or how bad the sex was.
They always tell me if they never call me back. I don't know.
Well, the women, okay, yeah, sure, the women, but like if guys are bragging to each other, they're not going to tell you.
Well, no, they're not gonna,
like,
I really was good.
Yeah.
I lasted about 21 and a half hours. She fell asleep at the halfway mark.
Exactly. Yeah. So.
But then hear girls, they say, oh my God, he was the worst in the world. His wasn't even 6 inches, it was like 3.5.
Yeah, so exactly. I mean,
I said, you want a 6 inch or 12 inch, you go to Subway, okay? That's where you get your shit out, okay?
Well, I noticed that, and that's an interesting, I guess, in terms of dick size, that was something I noticed in Washington, D.C. It's really weird. I don't know if I noticed it that much here. Well, yeah, there are a lot of dicks.
In Washington, D.C.
People refuse. Apparently, it's off limits to joke about the size of your dick in terms of being too small.
Right.
It's too big. I heard jokes about it being too big.
Yeah, I had to.
If you joked about your dick being too small, no one would laugh. That's not funny. That's just traumatic.
Right.
It's like if I raped a child. Or
right. It's like, are you that? I said that. Has life been that bad for you? Yes. Yes, it has.
Here, well, I got into.
You see what I'm doing? Look at my children, for God's sake. They're all in therapy because of me.
I got interrupted at an audience, in D.C., in Alexandria, when I was there just about 6 months ago.
Well, you were there 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
that was when I was starting out the sexualization method.
Okay.
And I was in a weird audience, but I told, there's a thing I tell where I talk about people bragging about their 4.5 inch dick. And I got interrupted by the host, and he was like, whoa, who's out there bragging about their 4-inch dick? And he's like, is your dick 4 inches? And I didn't know what to say. It was like,
you said, no, it's bigger than that. My brother was telling me about this. You always, when someone says that to you in a situation like that, you always gotta have something snappy right away to say, and I learned that. Like, are you talking about yourself? No, I'm talking about your ex. He was telling me about his 4 inch. That's why you ain't together no more.
I needed you there, Jerry.
I can't be everywhere.
Yeah, but I understand.
But the thing was, you're performing, and you got he interrupted you during your set there, so you lost concentration because you had your set at a set mark where you want to say your stuff. But someone interrupted the host, especially of all people, interrupted your set, so you get lost. And that happens.
I noticed that. Yeah, a lot of people it's tricky.
I've learned that because people interrupt me and that. So you really are. Why are you still single? Because your girlfriend, you said you couldn't get it up. She couldn't find it. She get the magnifying glass. It didn't even do any good. She gets some movies. You watch porn. Nothing happened.
Well, it's tricky.
Just saying, I'm just giving it out there. And well, you couldn't get it up. I said, have you seen your body, for God's sake? It's a mess. It's nasty. The dogs won't even go near you, for God's sake. That's how nasty your body is. You think my thing gonna go inside you? No, you got a nasty ass body? No.
Is that what you say to hecklers?
That's what I say. That's why I'm still single.
That's why
I'm not pushing it.
Jerry,
Listen, I'm 49 years old. I just turned 49 in January. I've been around the world more times than you and everybody that's Lark put together.
Just because you allowed me on this podcast when it's ready, I will let you look at the entire sexualization method program for free.
Ooh, wow.
That's probably like a $9,000 value.
Wow. Did you hear that? I get a $9,000 value about sexualization for free. And I'm 49 years old. I've been doing sex since I was 17. What do you know?
Yeah,
maybe I was doing
in advance.
Maybe I was doing something wrong. Well, thank you. Maybe I was doing something wrong. Thanks to the Australian Jack over here. Now I can do it again right now. How much writing do you do?
Writing?
Yeah, how much you do a lot of writing?
Like for comedy or just in general?
Well, for comedy, when you write your stuff out, you do a lot of writing. For your sets, you write your. When you get.
Oh yeah.
When you're thinking, and you think, then just jot your stuff down, and then you put it into it, and then you format it into your own set.
Yeah, I've actually I've color coded stuff to be like this has gotten a good reception. Right. This is something I think is funny, and I don't know yet what kind of reception it'll get.
Right.
And then this has got, or something like this needs work. Like I didn't do that until like the last year and a half. Until this with the sexualization method, I started taking notes and like online.
Oh, that's good.
I keep it. Yeah, I've tried to keep track of. Yeah, like so I know exactly what works, and I don't know how much I would wager that. I've got a good deal of stuff. It's tough, like comedy writing. I think people should write out. I know exactly.
I'd say you should write every day.
Write every day.
Write every day. And you don't have to write as much as possible. You can do an hour a day or a couple hours a day. I try to write a couple hours a day.
I know exactly one person in the Albany comedy circuit who I think who just basically wings it on stage and it works.
Who's that?
I actually don't know the name, but they might be here tonight. Every time.
How do you know that? You know that's for a fact?
Because I ask them, do you have anything prepared tonight?
So I've done that a few times. I had to wing things a few times, but they write things down because I had a busy day.
I mean, there's some people who sort of practice crowd work, but.
Now, does your family support your comedy?
Yeah, although I don't think that I actually am glad I think my parents are pretty set in their ways, and I don't think actually I'm pretty glad that they haven't asked to come out because I don't know.
Oh, they haven't seen
They haven't seen the sexualization method. No.
That is not our son. That's somebody else's child. You're out of the will.
I would feel really weird either way if they were like this. I don't understand this. If they didn't laugh and were horrified, or if they were like.
They would probably be mortified. It'd be shock treatment. They'd be allowed to use a therapy. They probably might end up getting divorced. See what you did to our son? You should not have given him that tape. He'd been all right. Don't give him the catalog of J.C. Penney for crying out loud.
I mean, every time. Yeah, I told them yesterday. yesterday I was working on some abortion material, and they were like, oh my God, what? They were like, why is that? Why would you do that?
Because it's comedy. That's why.
Yeah,
But there are people out there that are kind of like feminists and they're like against abortion. They're like, you shouldn't say that. They think that's like a racist joke.
Well,
you know?
I have been pleased that like I guess I would say yeah, like my stuff has the whiff of controversy, but nobody has ever come up to me afterwards and been like, this is offensive and you shouldn't.
Right.
I mean, which is I would say that honestly, yeah, like I think I've been able